think it was a challenging year, yet very exciting. It was the year that the administration delivered the red line, which has become a game changer when you consider the transportation from commuting from Agbado on the outskirts of Lagos in Ogun State all the way to Oyigbo in the heart of Lagos
Yeah.
mainland. So for me, that was the icing on the cake of all of the things that happened in 2024. So for me, 2024 was a very exciting year for Lagos State.
I thought there were still more to do talking about the rail line, the red rail line.
Yeah, more to do, but the first phase is completed and is up and running, and it's been able to resolve so many issues about transportation in that area and about infrastructure too. Before, you used to commute from Agbado to Igbo. That would take about 2 3 hours of
I mean,
sweating, of groaning, of pains. But today it's a jolly ride in an air-conditioned train, and it's very smooth, and people are commuting in comfort. And I think for me that's a revolution.
Wow, a very great one. They're still talking about the red rail line right there in Lagos. I mean, there's news right now that we're going to have one link VI, Lekki, and Aja. Do you have any information? Is it great news? Is it great news to Nigerians, especially those who live on the mainland and work on the island? You know, and all of this. So, what do you think Nigerians or Lagosians should be looking out for in the new rail line that is going to be constructed in the VI, Lekki, Aja Assas?
Well, for me, it's going to be another exciting time for transportation in Lagos State in 2025 because transportation is the first pillar of the team's agenda of
I mean,
the.
it's worrisome in Lagos. You can bet that transportation is very very worrisome in Lagos.
I didn't hear that.
I said transportation is a very very important thing in Lagos, especially.
Yeah, that is why the administration of Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu and Dr. Kadri Obafemi answered the deputy governor put it as the first pillar of the team's agenda. Team's agenda is the sixth pillar development strategy of the administration. And so considering the importance of transportation is the first pillar. So this year we are going to have a lot of things, very exciting things. Like I said, the train revolution will continue. Already we are getting manufacturers to build more trains for the blue line and more trains for the red line. And already documents are being signed, talks are in place for us to build the green line from Lekki Aja corridor all the way to the out of Lagos VI, Lagos Island. So for us, we are bringing in very a couple of CNG buses, and then we are going to do a lot about BRT to reinvigorate it and make it more energetic this year.
Lagosians don't seem to see enough of those CNG buses. Could you please give us an update to what's happening?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A couple of them, some thousands are coming in this year through the private sector, not just through the government alone. Transportation is so big that the government alone cannot do it all. So some people are coming in from the private sector to inject these buses, which are eco-friendly, which are also easy to maintain, which are also more durable than the kind of buses we have nowadays. So Lagosians are going to get more comfortable commuting from one part of this state to another this year. And like I was saying, considering the importance of transportation, we are not leaving it alone at the rail or the road. Also on the waterways, we are going to continue the revolution we've been having. On May 29 last year, Mr. Governor commissioned about 15 brand new ferries.
Yeah.
The ferries, very fine enough for any part of the world to compete with anyone from any part of the world. And with Wi-Fi, with everything that could make a commuting on our waterways comfortable.
And I must say
Yeah.
kudos to the Lagos State government on that. They've been the fatality on waterways has reduced drastically. I mean, that's very commendable for the Lagos State government. I don't know
Thank you
if
so much. So we had 15 on May 29, 2024. And any moment from now, we have about 10 brand new ferries that we are going to commission on the waterways too. But the very exciting thing about these ferries is that they were built here in Lagos by our local engineers,
oh,
by our
really?
young engineers. And it's just the kind of possibilities of things that can happen here when people have the opportunity to develop themselves, to show their skills, to show their talents, and to show that indeed there is nothing that is impossible if we set our mind to it.
Wow. You talked about our local developers, our local engineers, and all of this. How much, of those people is the government involving with infrastructure, like just like the ferries you've said that we, the Lagosians, our people here are the ones doing it, not because we are used to bringing the whites comes in to do some.
I've been taken to this site to go and see how this kind of bridge can be built because it's not something that you see every day in your life. And there are so many engineers who may not even be able to be on that kind of site throughout their careers, where you have about 3, 4, 5, 6 story buildings digging down before you even start to put the bridge that we all see there because of the kind of terrain on which the bridge
Wow,
is built.
the bridge linking
So,
Ojota to Maryland, is that that's what you say?
yes.
I think it's been
So,
constructed by Dangote, if not, if I'm
no,
not.
I'm talking about the Ojota Okpebi Lane Bridge. It's one
Okay,
of the
okay.
star projects of the Babajide Sanwo-Olu administration's projects.
Wow.
And it's the kind of project that is so exciting that by the time it's completed, you don't, all those people mixing their flights while going to the airport because of traffic, that will not be coming anymore.
Wow.
The journey that used to take so many minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes,
A
crossing
minute?
from,
You're talking about hours, yeah. I mean, sometimes 1 hour.
yeah. So nowadays you can commute as soon as the bridge is commissioned. You can commute from Ojota to Okpebira and join the Sheraton all the way to Mobolaji Bank Anthony in about 2-3 minutes.
I mean, you've gotten to your destination. Right. Interesting.
So local engineers are involved, not just local engineers. Students are involved in all these iconic projects so that they can experience what it is to build such projects.
Wow. Okay, so we're talking about traveling. Those who want to travel, the travelers. Let's look at the airport that's to be done in on the island. I mean, those on the island here, VI, Lekki, all of them will be rejoicing. But Lagos said that the Lagos State government has said that they were looking forward to the airport, in Lekki. Any update on that? What do you think? Well, I mean,
Yeah, as you know, the Lagos State government has gotten the permission of the federal authorities. An agreement has been signed. They kind of go ahead, green light to go and build the airport. And then people are coming up to take up the project because it's not something that the government can finance from its balance sheet.
where is it going to
It's
be located?
something.
VI, Lekki, or Aja?
It's, yeah, I'm talking about the Lekki International Airport.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. I said, where is the exact location? Is it going to be at Aja or towards Ekpe or the Lekki axis? I mean, where exactly? What position exactly?
It's going to be around about a couple of minutes from Dangote Refinery.
Okay.
Well, it's going to be right in the heart of what we call the Lekki Free Trade Zone.
Free trade zone. Okay. Okay. Wow.
That's where it's going to be. That's how you can find the kind of land for
Land
that kind of
space.
facility.
Oh,
And
interesting.
it's going to be an airport that will take away pressure from the Murtala Mohammed Airport.
Of course,
And,
definitely. Definitely. And so we're still talking about a major event of 2024. I mean, in December, we had big news coming talking about the dirty December. I mean, tell us more in all of this. How the income Lagos State generated. The perception Lagos State has coming from 2024 and entering into the new year. We're still going to look into what more I mean, is the state government having for us in 2025? But let's look at coming back from 2024. We're still talking about 2024 in retrospect, right here for the Lagos State government, and also 2025 in view. So, what major events will you also talk about in Lagos for 2024? And then let's look at Dirty December too. I mean, a lot of people didn't understand what that means. Can you just enlighten Lagosians on that Dirty December, the events that unfolded, and the gains of the state?
Well, the one major thing is that Lagos is now seen as a major global destination for the celebration of Youth Child. That during the Youth Child, you can come to around that time in Lagos was that we had a very strong security network that was on 24/7 that people relied on because you came into Lagos and had fun for several days, and there was no single incident of any
Insecurity.
in a long time. And then we had several boats on the waterways displaying their colors, displaying their flamboyance, having fun. People, excited people, and on ground people, hailing them on. It was a general fun around Lagos on that day when we had the Lagos boat regatta, and there was no single incident of any crime, of any violence, of anything that could cause any untoward attitude. And it was all fun all the way. And then we had so many shows in town, and then we had what we call the countdown, a concert in which many of our music giants came all the way from overseas where they were based to come and back home in Lagos and had that great show that we had that led us into the new year.
Yes,
so
exactly.
for us, it's not just because...
Is this something Lagos State is looking to do yearly?
Of course, we've been doing it yearly, but this year it just got bigger because the world came to Lagos. It was the day that concert, the day that the world came to Lagos. It was as if we were hosting the Grammys.
Well, okay, if you say so. But then we just hope that the momentum, keeps going yearly, year in, year out. Let's now look away from that. Lagos, don't forget, you can be part of this conversation right here on Spotlight on Super 92.7 FM. Yes, join the conversation. Right, we're taking a look at the 2024 in retrospect for Lagos State government and 2025 in view. Major events that went down. Yeah, we talked about the red line rail. We talked about the green line, and that's talked about the Lekki Ajah VI, rail line that is being initiated by the Lagos State government. We also looked about CNG. Also, we talked about the waterways. How best Lagos State has utilized the waterways and make it safe for Lagosians. And also, we looked about involvement of the locals. If you have questions on that, yes, I mean, we have Honorable Commissioner for Information and Strategy in Lagos State right here, who is definitely take your questions on the locals. I mean, Lagosians want to feel more involved in projects being done by the state government. Yes, Honorable Commissioner also looked at the issue of Lekki Airport, which he said is being done at towards the Ajah Ekpe, access there. And now let's look at misinformation via social media. But before then, quickly let me open the phone lines so you can be part of this conversation. 090 0705 890 4927. 0705 890 4927 or 0805 0805 092 0927 0805 092 0927. You can send a message via WhatsApp 0705 690 0927. Send us a message via WhatsApp 0705 690 0927. All right, Honorable, are you there?
Yeah, I'm right there.
All right, let's look at misinformation via social media. I mean, you're you oversee anything communication right there, and definitely well as the ministry been able to cut down on misinformation. There's power in information. It's and sometimes it seems to be like the bad news, the fake news goes viral even more than the positive ones. How well is the Lagos State government trying to cut down on all of this fake news?
Thank you so much. The dangerous issue of fake news, misinformation, and news causing chaos. It's not just a problem for the Lagos State government. It's a problem for all of us. It's a global disease that all of us must tackle. It's an epidemic because if it's not curbed, it's something that has the potential of setting the world on fire. When people, because they have access to an Android phone, can just sit down in the corner of their room, concoct something, and then press the button, and it goes viral, and people are running up and down, and there's chaos all over the place. I think it's something that is as dangerous as having a nuclear bomb. But what the Lagos State government is doing to tackle this is to, bring in the principle of the more good news you have, to drown the bad news and the misinformation, the better. So you see that at every point in time, and on all news channels, either the traditional media or the social media, we continue to pump out news about what the Lagos State government is doing, exciting news that can make people to know that the government is really serious about governance. And so we do not dwell so much on all those fake news, because the Gaussians themselves are, quick to understand. They are discerning people. They understand that all these things that they are not correct when they see them. So we continue to also do advocacy, which is the kind of thing that I'm doing now. That if you hear anything, just try to confirm. Don't just press a button and forward it and say as received, or any other things that
Yeah, I
are
mean,
not.
those things are very common. You just see some kind of BC broadcast on WhatsApp, especially. If you do this, forward it to 10 people, and the way it's spread, it's so very, very deadly, and a lot of people, takes it in, and So I mean, is state government taking steps to
Yeah.
curtail this?
Anything that you see on the social media, just take it with a pinch of salt. Don't, take it hook, line, and sinker. Just know that, somebody who put it there, put it there for a purpose, either to cause chaos, or to depress people, or to cause confusion in town. So since you are interested in posting things and reading such things. Most people nowadays, they get their news from the social media. So all you need to do is just to find out the credible sources of these news. And any news that you cannot verify, don't join in posting it. And we keep on telling people that, and we are going to continue to tell people that.
Thank you very much for that. But still talking about social media, I mean, we have countries like Australia, China, have really, really looked into addressing issues on social media, whereby from age maybe 16, 18 and above can have access. Do you support, curtailing social media usage in Nigeria?
Well, the point is that in Nigeria we have democracy. We have a president who is democratic, the president Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, and then all of us have seen so those of us who are old enough to know the difference between military rule and democracy.
Yeah, sorry to cut you, because it seems to be like the bads, are more than the goods, or the disadvantages are more than the advantage. With what is happening, I mean, you see so many issues of kidnapping, self-kidnapping, right there on social media. So I mean,
those are the perils of social media, perils of technology. Everything that has very good positive side, we also have a bad side. So it is left for us to just ensure that the good sides are the ones that we are imbibing and using. So, like I was saying, Nigeria would not want to. I would not want to encourage Nigeria to be in the company of countries who may ban the social media, who may want to gag its citizens, who may want to stifle free speech. No, because once the free speech is one of the major pillars of democracy. So long as we subscribe to democracy, there should be free speech. The thing is that all of us Nigerians have to be responsible about how we use the social media, about how we use any channel of communication at all. Since most people are turning themselves into reporters nowadays, they have to be ethical about it.
Well, you had that, Lagos. You had that. You have to be very, very ethical about the usage of social media. What about youth? Engagement in social media. Sometimes it seems to be these issues of self-kidnap. Recently, the Nigerian police had addressed issues of where, see, two young, will I call them lovers? Will I call them boyfriends and girlfriends? Because of one thing or the other, decide to go into self-kidnap, demanding money from demanding ransom, for frivolous things. Some will say because they are broke. Some will say because of all of this. So, I mean, how do you address this among the youth?
Well, I think young people, so many people have condemned them for doing things that are bad, but I would not be among those who will condemn our young people about all of the things that are going on in our society
Why?
nowadays.
Why will
In
you say
terms
so?
of the demographic numbers, they are many, they are more. They are about 60% of our population. So if you have that kind of heavy population, there is no way you won't have a bad eggs among them. And then, the way they bring up children nowadays is quite different from the way we used to bring up children in those old days.
Mm.
So these kids are daring, they are fearless, and then have access to technology, the kind of technology that we never had access to. So for them,
Where you call them
they
Gen
cannot
Zs?
stay broke. So it has to start from the family level. Everybody must be ready to ensure that kids don't go crazy, as some of them have done. Kidnapping, self-kidnapping is a condemnable act,
Yes.
and nobody should, accept it from any side.
Mm.
You know.
Well, Lagos, you've heard that from the Honorable Commissioner of Information, Gbenga Motosho. Self-kidnapping, it's unacceptable right here in Lagos. So let's look to other things. Don't forget, yes, keep your message coming in on WhatsApp 0705 690 0927. 0705 690 0927 or 0705. Let's call us. Call us on the 0705 890 4927. 0705 890 4927. Our other numbers 0805 092 0927. 0805 092 0927. Yes, Honorable, I mean, can you clear the minds of Lagosians? In December, there were so much talks about ban, especially that of sachet water. I mean, where Lagosians call it pure water. So many people say, oh, January, this and that. And now it has brought about increments, about 50% increment, in a bag of sachet water. What's your comment on that?
Well, the aim of the Lagos State government is not to ensure that the Lagosians are buying pure water at a very reduced rate. Our aim is to ensure that potable water gets to every home in Lagos. We have challenges in that area, and it's a lot of it's a kind of Herculean task. But I assure you that Lagos State government is not throwing up his hand and in desperation and saying that well, we cannot do it. Lagos State government is ready to ensure that there is pipe home water in every home in Lagos. And that is why we are doing everything possible to ensure that we build the water works too. That is why we are doing everything possible to ensure that our mini water works, the ones that are really big among them, are being reactivated so that they can contribute to the water.
Yeah, those days every community used to have waters, but now it seems to be, except maybe if you know, you have a good heart, your Lagosians that have a good heart, they just do probably a borehole in front of your house, and people come there to get water. I mean, can't we go back to those? I mean, those days where every community do have water, just like with the telecommunication, where they put their pipelines or what you call it, the network lines on the ground, and people have access to it. So, do you think is something can be done?
Yeah, it's something that can be done. Tomorrow, by the grace of God, the governor is leading the ESCO members, all of us, some of our external engineers and internal engineers, to Adion to see how far the project has gone. It's a project that, if it's completed, can give Lagos 70 million gallons of water per day.
70 million
So
gallons. Wow.
it's a lot of money, it's a lot of commitment. We've been on it for quite some time before the administration of Mr. Sanwo-Olu. And Mr. Sanwo-Olu has promised that he's going to do it. So we are trying to raise the financing in a creative manner, and we are trying to encourage the engineers to continue to work on the site. So tomorrow, we are going there to see how far. And then some of our mini water works have been revived too. And all of the pipes that are bad, we are
Many of
going
them. I
to
mean, the
see them.
telecommunications have, dig some of them out and all. We don't even, some don't even exist anymore. Most of all of those water pipelines and all, some don't even, I mean, you can't even see any of them anymore. I don't know. Well, like you
Yeah,
said,
you are right. Lagos State government is committing a lot of money to changing all those pipes to ensure that all the things that we need for us to go back to those states where we had water, carbon water in every
yes.
home, that those days are brought back. Already, we have, for the Adiyan Water Works, we have given Ogun State government a check of 600 million to pay to all those people who whose property will be affected by the right of way of the pipelines that will be coming all the way from Adiyan to the heart of Lagos for water that we are expecting from Adiyan Water Works. But it's interesting to know that some of the communities are saying that they don't even want money, that just ensure that we are part of this project when it comes on stream. They
Hmm.
also want to benefit from the water that will be coming from the project. So government is doing everything to return to those days where you had potable water right in your homes without any stress at all. So discourage people, everybody, from building boreholes.
Hmm.
Mm.
Wow, this is very, very commendable for the Lagos State government, I must say, because we need to return back to those days. I mean, I miss those days where you just, get water in your house. Sometimes you just hear the news, oh, the water is rushing, and then everybody's happy. Just, I mean, it seems to be like electricity those days. Everybody's happy that, oh, water is rushing right now. The government has
Mm.
opened up waters. And well, Lagos, you can hear it all. That's coming from the Commissioner for Information that whereas very, very soon, waters, yes, those pipeline water will return to our community. Well, that's a good one, and that's very, like I said, that's commendable on the side of the Lagos State government. Now, let's go to other issues right there. Or probably before we go to other issues, are there any major thing that we're looking up to in while we're coming in? We just this is the second month in 2025. Are there other major things the government are looking up to in 2025?
No, I didn't get that. Any other thing that we are looking
Major projects,
forward to?
yes, yes.
Oh, there are so many of them. Like I said, for us, it's going to be a defining year. If you look at the team's agenda of the Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu administration, it has 6 pillars, and then we also have what we call it's now become Teams Plus. This year, we are going to be looking forward to delivering so many projects. Uh, for us, take for example, in the health sector, we have the 280 bed general hospital in Ojo that we are building. We were there in last week to see how far the work has gone. We have not built a new general hospital in Lagos for decades. This is the first that we are going to build, and it's the first in the area in Ojo, where 280 bed. It's a very big one. It's massive, and it's very an ambitious project. Apart from that, also in the health sector, we are looking at the 500-bed mental hospital in Ketu. People don't pay attention to
That
mental
place has been abandoned.
illnesses at all.
If I guess, is it K2 or my 12? I know one mental
No,
place
I'm
like that.
talking about Ketu. Ketu is on the outskirts of Ekpe.
Okay. I thought it's a usual
Uh,
K2, the one
no,
after just.
not Ketu here.
Okay.
Ketu is in the heart of Ekpe, Lagos East. So we are looking at completing that hospital. It's a 500-bed hospital. It's going to be the biggest of its kind in sub-Saharan Africa. And
Wow.
then we are looking forward to completing all the renovation that we are doing in our hospitals. I'm also looking forward to erecting to research center in Yaba, so that if you have anything, God forbid, like COVID again, you don't have to run to the West to look for vaccine, because we have the expertise there. People are capable of developing a vaccine. All they need is just the facility to be able to do this. So in the health sector, we are going to do a lot. Spoken about the hospital in Ojo, the hospital in Ketu. And then, of course, we have the new Massey Street Children's Hospital, which is on Adeniji Adele. You can see that one if you are driving along the Third Mainland
No
Bridge. It's going to
bridge.
be the biggest pediatric center in sub-Saharan Africa. So if you have all of that in the health sector alone, it's a lot of work for us. We try as much as possible to see that they are completed this year. And if they are not completed, we see that latest the first quarter of next year, it will just be for us to commission them. But they are all there now. Contractors are working there as I speak. And that is in the health sector. In education, we continue to build more schools. We continue to encourage our people to send their children to school, and we continue to tell those who are out of school to return. There's no use for people to be out of school because they want to learn a trade. So this year we're going to be very strong on technical education, all those things that can make one to learn a trade in a school, not just go to school to learn about the theories, uh, practical education. So we are going to be very strong on that. And then we are going to be recruiting more teachers in our schools, and then so many other things, facilities that will make
How about technical schools? I mean, don't you think we need to go back to technical schools?
that's what I'm saying. The kind of schools that we are going to be building now, we are going to be stressing technical education, so that people don't need to drop out of school because they want to learn a trade. So it's like the technical school that you are talking about. And then we're also going to be setting up a university of medical science to reverse the Japa syndrome that has really affected medicine in Nigeria. So the Lagos State LASU that we have now, which is part of LASU, is going to become a standalone university on itself.
Oh
So
wow.
we are going to be pushing to be able to churn out thousands of medical students per year, medical graduates per year. So, those are some of the things that we want to do. And as far as food security is concerned, the kind of food up that we have, the machine that the people are praising today, very soon we are going to be commissioning about 4 more in other parts of Lagos. And then for food security and logistics, we are building what is going to be the biggest logistics hub in sub-Saharan Africa, also in Ketu, the Lagos Food and Logistics Hub. God forbid if there is a famine in Lagos for about 3 months, the logistics hub will be able to store the kind of food that about 5 million people can survive on for at least 3 months. So it's going to be, like I said, the biggest in the sub-Saharan Africa that anybody can have anywhere.
All right.
So in terms of food security, Lagos State government is also getting ready. It's going to be a defining year for us. The first phase is going to be commissioned this year.
Hmm. Well, you're talking about the Lagos State theme, which is the Lagos is about THEMES, and you said now it's now Team Plus, where we have traffic management, transportation, health, environment, education, and even technology. But we're talking about the education aspect where you were trying to address the issue of technical schools and all. There is one issue in Lagos, and that's the establishment of schools. I will call them unapproved schools. You can just, when you go to some creeks, you will just see some, let me use this language, Paco schools. People just
Yeah,
wake up
thank you.
and they just feel like, okay, I don't have a job or want something, and then they decide to just bring some kids together with school. So how is the Lagos State government able to address these issues? We understand the fact of hunger, we understand the fact of economy, but don't you think this will go a long way to affect those kids?
Yeah, I personally, I feel that it's a question of demand and supply. There are some areas that may not have schools. What the Lagos State government is doing is to encourage some communities to provide land. Once you can provide land, government will come and build.
How does that work? You tell the government that you have a land.
Yes, the community will write through the community development association. They will
Okay.
write to the government that they can provide land. Their kids are going to school in far places, but they will like a school. Are going to inspect the place and see that it is safe to put a school there, and
Oh,
then they will make recommendations to the government. As for those who are running illegal schools, we have an office of quality education, those who go around to assess the schools. And once they see that the school is not
of the
qualified to be
standard.
called a school, they shut it down immediately. And then the kids are taken to former schools built by the government. A lot of that has been done in Lagos.
Wow. Well, that's commendable also because I mean it's sometimes I go to some areas in Lagos and I question that is this even, I mean, is this a school? But Lagos, you've had it all. So LCDAs, if in case you have land or anything, and you feel like you need the government to put up structures, schools there. I mean, right to the state government so that it's not just backyard kind of education or school that is being run in the state. A very good one there. Thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner, for that information. Let's still move right. The phone lines are still open 0705 890 4927. Hello, good morning. Oh, please call us back 0705 890 4927. 0705 890 4927 or 0805 0805 092 0927 0805 092 0927. Hello, good morning. Okay, or you can send us message on WhatsApp 0705 690 0927 0705 690 0927. Now let's move to other stories right here. I mean, I once lived in Ogun State, somewhere around Abeokuta, and there is this thing that it's common when you park, when you drive and you park somewhere, you park on the roadside to buy something. Some people, in the name of whatever agent they are, come to you and say, "Oh, you have to pay so amount of money. You have to do this. You have to do all of the buy this, buy."